Today we're going to talk about the art of fire pit sitting. A lot of people will think the fire pit's the most important thing. You have like a solo stove and like with smokeless kind of fire pits. Then you have just regular kind of fire pits where you just stick the wood in there and burn it. There's all different kind of makes, models, brands, styles, all that. And none of that really makes any difference compared to the seat. The seat is the most important part of fireplace pit sitting. So we're going to discuss a few different kind of seats today and kind of go over what are the most important things to look for in a seat when you're sitting around a fire pit. So when you're looking for a seat to sit around the fire pit with, then it needs to fit in, it needs to do good in at least one and not two or three of these categories. The first is going to be scootability. You have to be able to scoot your fire pit, your seat, easily. The reason is that sometimes the smoke comes a little bit this way, or the heat comes this way and gets too hot, or goes that way, or this way, or whatever, and you want to be able to scoot your seat to kind of adjust for that. So that's number one. Number two is it has to be easy to get out of. You want to be able to get out of the seat easily in case you might need a beverage. Generally, there's beverages being had when you're sitting around a fire pit. So you have to be able to get out of your seat nice and easy. And the last thing is comfortable. It needs to be comfortable because no fire pit, you're looking at least 2 hours of fire pit sitting. That's a minimum time limit to sit around a fire pit. So if you can't sit in a seat for at least 2 hours, it's not going to be good for you. So we have several different seats here. We're going to kind of go over the pros and cons of each one of them and which one I think is the absolute best. First, we'll start off with this collapsible plastic seat. Now this one here makes me a little bit nervous because a big guy, plastic seats, what could go wrong, you know? So as you can see, this one is highly scootable, highly maneuverable, but please don't, please. All right, so you're sitting up here, you're enjoying your fire. It is highly maneuverable, easy to move around, easy to scoot around, and it is super easy to get up from, no problem at all. The problem is going to be, is it comfortable? And this isn't the kind of chair that you're going to be able to sit in for very long around a fire pit. So to me, this is one step above sitting on just completely on the ground. It will get you off the ground a little bit, but it's not very comfortable. You might be able to go 30, 45 minutes on a seat like this. But it's not a bad option if you don't have anything else. The number two option here is a bucket or a cooler. They kind of can go interchangeable. Again, this one's going to be highly scootable, easy to scoot around the fire. It's going to be easy to get up from. But the only problem with this one is it's not going to be comfortable, just like the collapsible chair. Because when you're sitting in this, you kind of get at this, you kind of slouch a little bit like this. It's kind of the posture you wind up taking. So again, this one's not going to be very comfortable, maximum about an hour. And that's with the bucket. That's going to be okay, but if you're sitting on a cooler, you're going to have to be getting up and down, up and down, up and down all the time because, like I say, there's going to be beverages that's being had. If you're sitting on the beverage cooler, you're going to be getting up and down repetitively. So you want to try to stay away from sitting on the cooler at all costs. The next chair we got here is just a Walmart plastic lawn chair. And this is a definitely upgrade over the other two. It is highly scootable, very easy to get in and out of because it has, not only is it a little bit taller, but it also has the handrails, armrest, so you can definitely get out of this one really easy. And also on this one, it has a little bit of give to it, so you can kind of lean back a little bit. So this one is a definite option, especially if you have people coming over and you want to provide a chair for them. Now, I would give this about a B+ on the fire pit sitting scale. Now to make this a little bit better, you could always throw in a little seat cushion. Oh yeah. You could easily sit around an hour around a pit for 3-4 hours with this seat, no problem at all. Like I say, because it's plastic, it has a little bit of give in the back, so you can kind of get a little bit of reclining. And yeah, I give this a B+ for sure. Next, we'll go with the fancy chair here. This is a fancy lawn chair, and I would give this about an A- or A. It's a little bit harder to get out of because it sits a little bit lower, but it does have the handrails. It's nice and comfortable. So, and it's going to be fairly scootable, and overall a decent option. Now, a lot of people were going to go with the Adirondack chair. I see a lot of those sitting around fire pits. I would highly discourage that simply because they're, for me, hard to get out of. But for a fancy lawn chair like this, could definitely go many hours sitting in a fancy lawn chair like this one here. Easy to get out of, easy to scoot. It does make a little noise when you scoot it, and it's a little bit too heavy to pick up. But for the most part, it's okay. I have sat many hours in this chair around the fire pit. And the only thing about this one is it kind of gets a little, because it's metal, there's not much give in it. So it's kind of rigid, even though it does have a nice cushion, it's kind of rigid. So after a while, you kind of get, you kind of find yourself trying to adjust a little bit, trying to adjust and kind of get more comfortable and kind of relieve the areas that might be hurting a little bit after 3 or 4 hours. But overall, an A on this one for sure. Fancy lawn chair. Now, this may be the ultimate chair here. I just got this one over Christmas. I asked for it specifically because I wanted to sit around the fire pit more. And what we have here is a GCI freestyle rocking outdoor chair. And I believe that this is going to be the best of the bunch. So again, this one is going to be easy to get out of because it sits up a little bit higher and it has the handrails. So easy to get in and get out if you want to get your beverages or whatever. It's made out of aluminum, I think, so it is super scootable. It doesn't make a lot of noise when you scoot it. You can pick it up, move it wherever you want, no problem at all. And most importantly, this one here is super comfortable. And it has a little bit of rocker, so you can just kind of get a good rock going like this while you're sitting there watching a football game around a fire pit. And if you want to make it extra comfortable, you can get you a seat cushion, throw in there. Oh man, it didn't get much better than that, if you ask me. I give the GCI outdoor freestyle rocker an A+ for fire pit sitting. Another thing about this GCI chair, it has a built-in table. So if you want to set your beverage right here, you have your beverage stand right here, and no problem at all. So this makes it even extra. It has a place for your beverage, a place for your cell phone. I don't know what that little place is for, but this little side table is awesome. I didn't kind of go over just like a normal outdoor collapsible chair, like you'd find at a campground. Those are all great too, but the main thing about those is you want to have the one with the cup holder and the armrest. That's the main thing. Those are definitely doable and are a step down from the GCI, but also they do a great job as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video, documentary, film about fire pit sitting. It's definitely an art. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.